Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Mandy.
And tonight we have a very special guest with us, our 12-year-old daughter, Madison.
Hey, howdy.
And where memories are out there. Today we went to SeaWorld for a little while.
It was hot.
Hot.
Extremely hot.
David hasn't been to SeaWorld since 2007, so it's basically brand new to him. Madison and I have gone twice since we've lived down here. Today was, for lack of better words, a crapshoot.
Yeah, it was an adventure. We shot from the hip, right? We didn't plan anything. We just said, Maddie and Minnie get back from bowling, and once you guys got back from bowling, we sat around for a couple minutes and left around noon, a little before noon probably.
Yeah, right around noon.
Yeah, a little bit before noon. It's 30 minutes away from the house, so it's not a long drive for us. We were also rolling the dice on the weather because it said it might rain later, might rain, might not. It's Florida in the summer. It's a crapshoot.
It was crazy. We got there at what time? Did we pull into the, not the parking lot, but to go to parking? 12:49?
12:49. It took us, I'm just going to say the total. It took us 51 minutes to get from where you pull in at the parking gate where you like scan your badge or get through the pay to park. Yeah, took 51 minutes to go from there, get into the
parking lot,
the parking lot and to the park entrance, and to get through where they scan your
to get into
ticket.
the actual park.
Yeah.
51 minutes.
Sucked.
It was crazy.
Yeah, when you're pulling into the parking booth area, you pull in and it's like from a single lane to like, I don't know, 8 lanes, 10 lanes.
Yeah. Not as many as Disney, but
Close.
still close.
Yeah, so if we are used to Disney, and since we've lived down here for the last year, I haven't been to SeaWorld, but I've been to Disney 3 times a week, give or take. So I'm very used to, coming around the corner and you see the Magic Kingdom sign, you pull right up to the booth, and within 2 to 3, not even 2 to 3 minutes, a minute, you're through.
I don't know if we've ever waited 5 minutes at any of the parking things.
No, it took 25 minutes it was like I-4. It just came to a standstill. I got some footage of it. We just sat. Like, I put the car in park, and I don't know, 100 cars. We all just sat there.
It was crazy. And then the parking lot, the attendants,
the attendees,
they were just telling you, go.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, what are we doing?
We ended up just
finding a spot.
Yeah, driving across the second or third parking lot. I'm not sure which one it was. And parked out in the middle of nowhere.
It was just crazy. You realize how spoiled you are from going to Disney. We went to Universal the other day, and it's not as good as Disney, but oh my God, it was nowhere near like today.
But it was chaos. So since my first visit in the last 20 years, it did not start out well. Luckily you're in the AC in the car, but it
was crazy.
It was very
almost
unfortunate.
An hour just to get into the park.
Yeah. Even though we parked far away, it was only maybe a 10-minute walk.
Maybe.
Which actually ended up, benefiting us. It wasn't like an hour-long walk or something crazy. But we got up to the entrance of the park, but you have to walk through security, and then you have to walk through, the ticket booth.
That was nuts,
and
too.
it was like I-4 all over again.
It was.
It was just pure chaos. There were people everywhere.
Everybody's just trying to cut into other lines and just...
Yeah, and I'm spoiled by Disney. We have the Magic Band, so you walk right up to the ticket booth thing, and you just scan your badge, scan your finger, and off you go.
They don't have any security. I pulled the app up on my phone, and we scanned our annual passes, and they don't even know that we're who we say we are.
Yeah, it's instead of it like checking your fingerprint or whatever to make sure you are who you say you are, it's just a bunch of people out there with cell phones using, what is it, the QR code? Mm-hmm. And
no, it's a scan bar.
Oh, it's a barcode.
Barcode.
So you just scan, and okay, let 3 people in. Doesn't matter who the 3 people are.
Yeah.
I could have been somebody completely different, but...
Which I guess would work out for you if that's what you want to do. But
maybe. And by this point, it's been an hour, and we are all soaking wet already. We already had our fans out.
It was like it had to have been almost past 1:30 by now.
Yeah, it was like 1:40.
Because we got there at, what'd you say, 12:49?
So, pure chaos. It did not start out well. I was, but I didn't let it bother me. I didn't let it deter. We made our way through. Once we got through there, it opened up a little bit, but, we make that first corner, and then they had like the colored banners over top, which was pretty neat. But there's people everywhere. Like, it just didn't feel...
Maddie and I have never seen it that busy, but we haven't gone during the summer either. We've only been twice since we've been down here, and both of them actually might have been during the week. So
who did you go with?
The first time I went with Gidget and Emily, and then the second time was with Nana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we came around the corner. It was just it didn't feel well thought out how they laid the buildings out.
No.
But it's okay. It's
but we had a
SeaWorld.
good day.
Yeah, so we walked past those colored banners, and then we did get a little selfie of us in front of the SeaWorld, one of the SeaWorld signs. And then what was the first coaster we kind of made our way up to?
Manta.
Yeah, we hung out there for a minute, trying not to lean on the fence because the fence was 150 degrees. But yeah, we sat there for a little while. Maddie was deciding whether or not she wanted to ride it. Did we ride it? We did not ride it, and that's okay, because Manta's the one that like lifts you up,
Yeah.
right? So you're like on your stomach.
You're like face down. Well, except when you go over that one hill and you're face up.
Yeah.
Pretzel loop.
The pretzel loop, yeah. Soon. We haven't done a coaster yet with a loop in it, right? But we're close. We've done Hagrid's. We did end up riding another roller coaster later on in the day. So we skipped Manta. Again, we're all soaking wet. We all had our little handheld fans on high.
We ran right to the Sea Lion and Otter show because
yeah.
it was at 2:00, and we went there first. David hasn't seen these shows.
Yeah,
So-
I'd only seen like shorts from when you guys had recorded shorts on your phones, and they were really cool. Mm-hmm. So I was excited to see them. So normally I would have already been grumpy and everything, and why aren't we riding rides? But I was super excited to see the animals. Straight up incline, because the shows
Yeah.
are like an amphitheater, and when you get to the top, you got to walk down those steps. I mean, that's like stadium seating. That's like walking down the steps.
It's fun though.
Yeah, it was really neat. There was like a guy and a girl. Like one was like not a doctor, but
Like
Yes, her name was Dr. Zilla.
Ziploc bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she had she had a guy that worked with him, and she gave him some notes or something that he was supposed to hold on to. He placed them somewhere, and then one of the little
Otters stole it.
little otters took it. Really neat. It's really neat to see the animals do things like that.
Yeah. I like when the seal follows him.
Oh yeah, they had a
mocks him and does everything that he does.
Yeah, it's cool. You can tell. I mean, they put hours in to train those animals, and the animals.
Such a fun job.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to do that.
Yep.
When, like, towards the end, like, the finale show, they bring out the volunteer and what do you call it?
Walrus.
Walrus comes out, and the kid, like, gets below the walrus, and, like, they get a picture, and then the walrus gets them wet.
He
Oh,
goes
yeah.
like this.
Yeah, so they called a kid. Does any kid want to come out and do something, help?
Volunteer.
Volunteer. And a kid, I don't know, it looked like he was your age, anywhere from 10, 11, 12,
He's
somewhere.
from England.
Oh, yeah, from overseas. Yeah, and they bring him up, put his back against the glass, and kid didn't see it coming. He got sloped. It was really neat. They shot some water out, like surprise shot water out on the guests pretty early on. We were not in a splash zone.
Not there.
No, we were pretty high up. But it was neat.
That's because we got there like 2 minutes before it started.
Yeah, it was cool. Show ended with 15 minutes long, but it was enough. It kept us. Luckily, it's all covered, so it kept us out of the sun for a couple minutes.
Yeah, we were in the shaded part or covered part.
Yeah. Where did we go next?
Then we walked over to find the what?
We got Dippin' Dots.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
We got Dippin' Dots.
We did get Dippin' Dots. We were trying to find them. We made our way through a couple stores trying to find them, right?
Mm-hmm. We finally found them. Got Dippin' Dots and then went to the orca encounter.
How much were the Dippin' Dots?
Oh my gosh! $12.
$11.99 or $12.99?
Big. $11.99.
$11.99.
Like a solo, not even a red solo cup. Like one of the clear, see-through solo cups.
Yeah. $12 for Dippin' Dots for one cup.
I know Dippin' Dots get expensive, but man,
Yeah. What flavors did you guys get?
I got ultimate brownie batter.
Yum. What about you?
Cookies and cream.
Was it good? Yeah.
Dippin' Dots are always good.
Yeah.
$12 worth.
And I got a tall boy Yingling. It was
$12.
$12 for a can of beer.
In Christmas, it was ridiculous. Like Disney's not even that expensive.
No, it was. I was actually debating on getting Dippin' Dots, and I came around the corner. And I said $12. No, I'm good. Yeah. So we sat there in the sun for what felt like forever.
It took forever.
And we were only
the second person in line.
the second person in line.
Oh my gosh! I'm pretty sure I got sunburned just standing there.
It was so hot and the sun was so strong today for whatever reason. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's summer. There was an older lady. She came up beside you.
She was like, "I'm sorry. I'm just trying to hide from the sun."
Yeah,
She's like got herself underneath the thing.
Just the canopy that just went over top of the guy, selling the Dippin' Dots and the one person that's buying them. And she got right up beside you and she was just trying to get out of the sun.
She's like, "I forgot my hat."
It's funny.
Yeah, that was expensive. And we got flatbreads.
So
They were expensive.
hold on, you're jumping ahead. So
Well, we went to the orca encounter.
we did. We made our way from Dippin' Dots. We got in line 40 minutes early.
Yeah, Maddie wanted to sit in the splash zone.
40 minutes early, and there was a line already waiting to get in to the orca show. And rightfully so, because it was amazing, but we'll get to that in a second.
So we went and got seats.
Yeah, so we're coming up, and it's the same thing. It's like a huge amphitheater, stadium seating. What did you want to do? Where did you want to sit?
Soak zone.
The soak zone. I was completely against this. Even though we were already soaked from sweat, I wanted nothing to do with getting soaking wet. But, we're there to have fun, so we did. We sat, 5 or 6 rows up,
Yeah.
give or take. A couple people in front of, a couple rows in front of us. We sat there and we had a good 40 minutes to spare, and that place was filling up already.
So I went and got us the flatbread pizzas. Again, man,
How much were the pizzas?
they were like this big.
Yeah, they were good sized little flatbreads, for sure.
Yeah, $16 a piece.
Phew. For
Yeah.
the cheese and 16 for because I got an all meat, which was bacon and pepperoni.
I think the cheese might have been 15, but
Oh.
yeah,
I actually really liked mine. It was really good.
it was okay. It was supposed to be margarita pizza. It was just cheese pizza.
It was just cheese pizza.
But it was okay. The cheese was kind of weird.
Okay. So after we ate, we had just a few minutes to go. Then they started bringing up questions and things like that on the huge LED display in front of everybody. That was cool. They asked different types of
And you get to
ocean
vote.
questions.
Like you have to stick up fingers to vote for whatever they're.
Yeah, they give you 3 answers to pick from. Mm-hmm. That was cool.
How'd we do? We did pretty good. We got almost all of them right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
You like that show?
I was just copying everyone else.
There you go. That's my daughter. Copying all the test results from everybody else instead of doing the research. Good for you. I did the same thing.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then all the trainers came out. There was 5 or 6 of them, probably.
Yeah, there's always a lot.
And And one thing I was actually surprised about was the head trainer lady. They were like filming her, so she was up on the screen, and she talked a lot about multiple things, but it was all live. It wasn't pre-recorded, which was impressive too. Like that was really neat. And then they brought out the big guys. There was how many orcas are there?
Oh, they told us all their names.
Yeah, it was like five or six names. And I'm just going to talk first. Those things, like, it brought an emotion out in me. Like, because they're playing, like, crazy epic music, too, which totally adds to it. I was not expecting to feel that way when they came out. Like, all inspired, impressed. You know, the first one comes out and comes all the way around and just leaps up out of the water. This thing's like the size of a school bus.
That's what
and
they said.
And it leaps out of the water, and you're just like... And they're cruising around that water. And I looked over at you and I said, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing was 30 mile an hour easily around this massive tank.
Well, they say they're the, what words did they use?
Well, the orcas are the apex predator.
That's it.
Which we knew going in. There is nothing in the food chain in the water that hunts orcas. It hunts everything else. So, one, that's scary.
But they're so friendly looking.
Yeah, I mean, they were awesome, man. But I totally wasn't expecting to feel that. But, yeah, I don't want to take the thunder away from you guys, but, man, that was so cool.
Yeah.
That was better than doing a roller coaster or a ride. Like, just watching that, man, that was so cool.
What do you
think about the show? Yeah.
It was I love it. Like they said time to get wet, and it was like going so fast around, and like Dad was like, this is scary.
Dude, it's a school bus. Like, if you're in the water, and they attack boats. They do. Like, it's crazy. It's just that thing's the size of a school bus.
It won't attack a cruise ship.
No, not a cruise ship, but like little fishing vessels. Those little guys out there fishing. You stay on land. They did the show. It was, how long was the show? Was it 15 minutes? No, it was 30, wasn't it?
I want to talk about it.
It was 30, right?
20 to 30.
Yeah. But they didn't do the splash zone for a while. That's what I was getting to.
Oh, they saved that for the end.
Yeah. Because she kept going, wait, it's coming out. Because I was like, I don't think we're going to get wet.
That's because the first time we went with Emily and Gidget, Emily got Maddie. She's like, let's sit down here. It's not part of the splash zone. And then we got soaked.
Mom left your mouth open.
I did. I was like, ah! And water, I was like, ah!
You what? You left your mouth open?
The first time we went and did it, yeah. Not today. I knew better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what else do you think about it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. I love it when you get wet, because, like, there's two parts where you could get wet.
Yep.
Like, the first one, they, like, go upside down and splash their back tail on the water.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we got wet.
Yeah, we got drenched.
Yeah.
And then the second time they go around flapping their tails, one of their front ones.
Oh, yeah, fins. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, the tank's, like, oval shaped, has a massive curve to it, so they just swim right along and smack water easily 5-6 rows up into the thing. I mean, it's powerful.
And like every time they were done like splashing one section, they zoomed in on a baby crying. Like,
oh, dude,
they did.
There were so many babies freaking out.
Oh my god!
Because like
so funny.
Drenched, like not like sprinkled.
And they probably
on
had
you.
their mouths open.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, they were soaking wet. It was fun. And, man, when that water hit you, like, it was powerful. Like, it was like somebody dumped, like, 5-gallon bucket just chucking it at you.
And, like, when they zoomed in on the babies, like, all of them looked like they just came out of the shower or something.
Yeah.
Or, like, out of the pool. Like, their hair was, like, just water. Just water.
I think I got footage on my right-hand side. People were freaking out and, like, trying to get up the steps. Like, it says soak zone everywhere. Like, every 3 feet it says soak zone in massive bold letters. And you could see people mouthing going, I wasn't expecting that. And they're, like, soaking wet. Like, they just jumped in a pool.
Yeah.
And like before before the show starts, they're like, within 15 rows, you're in the soak zone, so watch out.
Yeah, 15 rows. I mean, that's crazy.
You will get wet. That's what they say.
No, they said you will get soaked.
Yeah.
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 People don't pay attention.
I mean, kind of like me, like you just don't expect it. They're massive. Like you don't expect.
Just a few drops.
Yeah, it's they'll splash me. Like it's a school bus out there flopping around. Like you're getting wet.
They're amazing creatures.
Beautiful.
Every time I watch it, it brings tears to my eyes. I don't know why. Just watching them, I just get so mesmerized at how awesome they are, and they're the biggest predator, and yet here they are working with these trainers, and I swear I know the trainers are giving them food, but it's like they all love each other, and it's just, man.
So they're highly intelligent, but it is, at the end of the day, it's just this big, massive animal, and like at one point, like he was sitting up on the scale thing, and the guy was just hugging him. Right?
I know.
It is really
and
cool.
And petting them like you do the dogs, and gosh, like I want one.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna put it?
We need a house.
We need a bigger boat.
That's funny. But yeah, they're awesome. Like if you go to SeaWorld, you have to watch the orca encounter.
I would go there again if you were just like, hey, let's go watch that show. I would drive up there to watch that show again.
It's awesome.
And they had multiple showings. So I was talking to Maddie earlier, and we were like, Maddie, you said there's one at like 3 and one at 5 and things like that. But there was one at like 9 o'clock at night.
Yes, which is crazy. I never knew they did them at night. Of course,
Yeah.
I've only been there twice, but
I wouldn't mind going there in the afternoon and watching like when the sun's down
to watch it at night
with the lights on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's awesome. We should totally do that. That would be a cool Saturday evening to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get away from the sun and maybe ride some more roller coasters.
We didn't get to go to the dolphin show, but there's also a dolphin show.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. I remember the videos you guys took. They were like leaping out of the water and doing flips and things.
Yeah.
I totally want to do that.
Yeah.
It's just really impressive. Like, I know the trainers working with them and feeding them probably 7 days a week, right? But it's still neat to see.
It is. I would love to have that job.
Yeah.
I would love it.
It was really cool. And I had noticed, like, that there's a couple trainers, like, stationed around the I'm going to call it a pool. But they have long, like, metal batons, and there's this real big white foam, I guess it's foam.
Like a pool thing.
Yeah, but like a metal stick.
Life thingies.
Yeah, with like a plastic foam thing on it. And right when the other trainers would like do a hand signal or something, the orcas would turn around and go in the water, and then they would smash the water really hard.
It tells
but
them where to
super fast, but it's telling them where to go.
They're so smart.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is wild. It's pretty awesome.
Like those things turn around, go in the water, and they see that splash 100 feet away.
They hear it.
I'm sure they do, and it's
or
just like
feel it. I don't know if they have ears.
I don't know.
They have that what's it called? They talked about it on the video.
Yeah, we're getting way too deep in.
We are way off. Okay,
eco,
anyway.
we're like bats.
So after
But that thing splashes, and they're like, "That's where I'm going." And
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, scary.
Yeah, I know, it's cool. So after the orca encounter, where'd we go?
We were going to go ride Icebreaker for the first time, but I wanted Mom to get on it, but she was too scared, and I didn't think it was going to be that bad, because like on the videos, it looked so slow and everything, and by the time we got over there, it broke down.
Yeah.
And so we headed to the bathroom after that, and when we were done, we went to go find a seat so that we could see the test runs and then see when people get on. And we sat down at the seat for a little while, and we saw the test runs, and then we saw everyone starting to line up, even though it was still, like, down. And then we went to go line up because, I don't know, they both went, like, Maddie, go run up there and see if it's, like, open or not. So I thought that we were going to stay, like, at that seat if it wasn't open or not. and it was still broken down. And they started like heading over. I guess they were gonna get in line, but I was like, go back, it's still broken down.
People were lining up already, so we were like, let's just get in line so that you didn't have to wait 45 minutes when it opened back up.
So, to put this into context, Maddie has been watching all of the videos on TikTok of all the roller coasters. So she singled out this one roller coaster and maybe Pipeline at the beginning of the day. You're like, we might ride Pipeline, which is the brand new coaster you're surfing on a surfboard. We show up and that ride had just opened weeks ago. Down. We get over to Icebreaker after the Orca show. Down. So it's like, dude. And that was Icebreaker was the one you had like decided, all right, I'm going to do this.
I'll turn it back.
We actually ended up walking to Sesame, like to the entrance.
Yeah, Maddie was like, let's go ride the kiddie roller coaster.
Yeah.
Down.
So we turn around, headed back towards Icebreaker, and that's when we started seeing them do the test runs on it, where the seats are empty. And then we're like, all right. And then we started seeing people line up, and then we just stood in the sun and...
Would we stand there for 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes.
And then finally they opened it back up.
Yeah. Oh, before that, we went and sat down on a bench for a couple minutes, and we made a little friend with the little bunny rabbit.
Oh, yeah, little bunny.
And then you also need a locker if all of your family members are going to ride
Oh, a
it.
locker.
Yeah. So Mom went to go check out how much the lockers were, and they were $1. And she was like, I'm not spending $1 for a locker.
I didn't want to get on it.
I thought it was $2.
It was
$2 for over an hour.
Oh, okay.
$1
okay.
if it was under an hour.
Yeah, so what's the Universal Men in Black? You have to use a locker, but it's free.
You scan your annual pass and you get the free locker.
Yeah, I feel like there's other rides like that too.
I think all of the Universal ones do that.
Okay.
Because Hagrid's, you don't have to pay for it. You scan your PIN.
Hagrid's. Yep. Yeah, I walk over there and like touch the screen. It's like $2. I'm like, really? Like, all right.
I didn't want to ride it anyway. It was hot. I didn't feel good. I honestly was worried about the part that backs up. It just scared me watching it, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted nothing to do with that ride. She was like, I don't really feel good. Like, I don't feel like riding this. Like,
I don't really feel good, so like...
Yeah, but what did you tell me when you got
Hold on, we'll get to it.
Okay.
So, the the line opens up, and we're only 15 people back, maybe?
no.
Yeah, because you were
Yeah,
on the
and then
second one.
we drop it, we walk right through.
We got
And
on. And
we were the second cart that was cart to go. And that was a wild,
Hold on.
like,
Don't explain the ride yet.
don't explain the ride. All right, go ahead.
So, when our cart came up, we were in the third row for the first cart. So there was like 3 carts.
Yep.
3 rows in each cart. And the carts are very tight to get in.
Yeah, this is a 12-year-old kid saying how tight they are to get in.
Like
you gotta like you're sitting in a seat and then slide in. You don't walk into it because the backrest of like the cart in front of you is literally like that.
like here.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and then basically you have to put a seatbelt on and then a lap bar. And I was like, why do you need like a seatbelt?
2 forms of safety on that ride, which we found out why. But 2 forms of safety.
Then it goes up maybe like
20 feet.
20 feet and then it slides over.
Yeah, which is really cool. It's like an erector set. Like it goes up 20 feet and the entire thing shifts over another 15 to 20 feet. And that puts you on the track.
Yes, and then you take off backwards.
And
then you go up, we waved to Mom, and I was like, oh. Because I was like, oh man, this is scary.
Yeah, you go backwards to get up a hill, and then as you come forward the first time, it launches you forward fast to get up the main hill.
Yeah, and we didn't make it up the hill
You didn't make it up.
Me and Dad looked at each other and were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. And
we basically came out of our seat.
Wait, so it shoots you back?
Yeah, so
you
we
have
didn't
to
make it
go
up the
back
hill.
up.
So then you're back down, and then it shoots you backwards to get up to the highest point of the backwards hill, right? And then you come forward again, and then it launches you forward again. which felt super fast. It was really
It looked
fast.
fast.
You went up, and then like you sharply went like this, and then you went down.
Yeah, so at the apex of the hill, you hit it, and it like whips you to like get you ready at the angle to go down. Dude, you're out of your seat. You're out of your seat, and I mean hard. It's not a smooth hill. It threw me out of my seat. Super scary. That's where immediately right then is when we found out why you have a seatbelt and a lap bar.
Like, you don't even have time to think about the hill. You fling over, down.
Down. And then there's no loops, right? We didn't do any loops, but
Felt like it.
it felt like it, right? You did multiple like banking turns and then quick drops. I was out of my seat 4 times. Sketchy.
So, like, right after the hill, you, like, turn and then do, like, a few more drops. And there's this one you go up, and, like, you're, like, practically upside down.
Yeah.
And then, like, you quickly turn
Yeah.
and then go.
It throws you out of your seat. It felt, I don't know, man. It felt scary.
And then we braked, and then I looked at Mom, and I was like,
And what'd you tell me when you got off of it?
you have made the right decision. You would have been crying on that. Like, if you survived Hagrid's, you might have been a bit okay, but, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't.
And it's so funny that you got off and told me that, because after watching them, I was like, I can do this. And then Maddie gets off and she's like, good thing you stayed off of it.
Yeah, that coaster, I mean, that was the one that you would decide, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this one.
Nothing like the videos.
Nothing like the videos, man. I hope the GoPro footage turned out good. You had to put everything away. You had to either put it in a locker or Manny took all of our stuff. I had sunglasses on. They made me take my sunglasses off.
No wonder. They probably would have flown off your head.
It would have flung me off. But I had a hand strap to GoPro that they didn't say anything. They all seen it. Because they
It's
check your
handheld.
seatbelt and then they come back and then they do the lap bars second, like on their second turn.
That lap bar did nothing.
I came right out of it. And I have a belly, and you're like sucked down in this little seat. And the second you come up out of it, the lap bar is like down underneath of your stomach, and there was no getting back in. 'Cause I know it sounds funny. But for half that ride, I wasn't sitting on my butt. I was sitting on my belly on the lap bar.
That's why you kept coming out.
Dude, and it was like full on. My butt never touched the seat after I made that first hill, man. It sucked, and I didn't tell either one of you guys because it hurt my stomach really bad. Man, it'd be different if like you were skinny. It would probably still threw you out of the seat, like it threw you out of the seat, right?
Yeah, you just went back in your seat.
I didn't. My butt like hovered above the seat where it was, and I was just hanging on my belly. Man, it was that the all meat pizza I had at the Orca show,
And that Yingling
and that one Yingling I had. It was like 60 carbs between those two things,
bloated you up.
dude. Swell up like a tick, and then put me in a roller coaster
Oh,
ride.
man.
So, I mean, at that point, we're what, 4 hours in?
I don't know. It was hot.
Felt like 12 hours. I mean, it was a scorcher today.
It really was.
It really was.
When we were under, like in the shows, you could kind of feel a breeze, but I don't know if it was a breeze or the fans.
That was the first time this year, and it's, what's today, June 9th? June 10th. That all three of us had our fans on the entire time we were in a park.
I'm so sorry to backtrack, but like right before we got on the roller coaster, my fan died.
Yeah.
The battery.
Yeah, I mean, you had your fan on for
The whole time during the shows, I had it on facing my face.
Yeah, for a couple hours straight. So yeah, I mean, even though we were under for both of those shows, we still had our fans on.
It was just stagnant air.
Yep. So we get off the ride. Maddie's legs are shaking. My stomach hurts, but I didn't tell either one of them because it's embarrassing. So I'll tell the whole internet. We met back up with Mandy, got our stuff, and we were going to head out of the park.
Pipeline started running.
And Pipeline, the #1 brand new ride. I mean, I guess it was literally down all day, and it was right as we were walking out.
I'm not riding that sucker.
Mom's like, I'm out, but you can ride it.
I'm super pumped to do it whenever we do it. We're going to try to like wait a few months before we go back, or we do a Saturday afternoon instead of going middle of the day. I'm super pumped to ride it. But when we got there, that's a big roller coaster. It's
hill.
like legit big.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I can't wait. But
We stood there watching and just going like this. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a big roller coaster. The hills are massive. It does have one loop in it. I didn't think it did.
Like, I was like, yeah, I could definitely ride Pipeline. And then after
Icebreaker.
I was like, it's nothing like the video, so this one isn't going to be either. I don't think I'm ready.
Yeah, you're standing up on that one. I think it's the world's first, but you're not on your feet the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
What you're sitting on is on a spring / whatever. So there's times when you go over a hill where your feet come off of the surfboard. And it's not fast. It's like, it's a shock.
Yeah.
Right? You come off and you're dangling for 2 seconds at 55 mile an hour. I can't wait to ride it, but my heart and my stomach were still hurting from Icebreaker, so I was okay. And that's why I didn't put up a fight. I was like, are you sure?
David's
no?
like, I'm not going to fight you if you don't want to ride it.
I'm not going to fight you. I'm pretty sure I'm bruising everywhere.
I was like, I'm not riding it.
And that was it. I mean, that was 4 or 5 hours in, and the sun was just insane.
It was. It felt like we weren't going to make it back to the car.
Yeah.
Dad felt like that.
Dad did feel like that.
Dad was like, I'm dying.
Wow.
You were. We had
Dude,
to
I
stop
thought I was
at a
going to have a
gas
heat stroke. Wow, you're going to tell the whole world, huh? I had to get gas. We were at like a little less than a quarter tank. And if you know anything about Central Florida, you can get stuck in traffic in the blink of an eye. And I wasn't going to run out of gas because we've done that in the past.
Run out of gas?
Years ago.
Years ago,
Yeah,
Carnes.
20 years ago. I know, and she still don't let me forget it.
Who?
You. So I had to stop. So we had to stop and get gas. And we had to stop and get gas.
And then me and Mom go inside the store, right? And Mom's like, when we're at the cashier, she's like, look out.
What? What were you saying?
I said, do me a favor and peek out the door and make sure Daddy's still standing.
Guys, I was this close. I felt woozy, man.
I'm a little woozy here.
I'm a little woozy here. I was in and out of it while I was pumping gas. I had to get back in the car. I left the car running, the gas pump running, and I was sitting inside in the AC, trying not to have a heat stroke. Let me tell you something about these two. I pumped all the gas.
There was a line.
Got back out, got in the car, pulled up to the front of the thing, and then took a nap.
You did not.
Yeah, I looked out the window and he was like,
But I told Maddie to check on him. And she comes back and goes, oh, he's sitting in the car. He's okay. I was like, oh my God, he's done pumping gas already? That line was like 10 people deep.
like, so the cashier's
Those
right here,
4
the
cars
door's
in the
right
parking
here.
lot.
Cashier's right here, door's right here. The back of it's like all the way here. The line was backed up all the way like this.
That was only like 4 cars in the parking lot.
I know. When we opened that door, I said, whoa.
So.
But yeah, I looked out the window and Dad was like passed out or something. He was like this. I went back to Mom and I was like, he's fine. He's just sitting in his car. He's definitely not asleep / pass out.
But and then we came home. And luckily we got home just in time because an hour after we got home, lightning and
Bad thunderstorms. So thank goodness it didn't rain on us.
Yeah.
I tried to calm Tank down like the best I could. I was like squeezing onto him. He freaks out. He's like,
Him or you?
Both.
hey. Hey, I was good.
You were.
You were good. I think that about wraps up our little adventure at SeaWorld. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we
Anything
didn't
else?
do a lot, but it was crazy there today.
Yeah.
It was busy. And the best parts, there are a lot of roller coasters at SeaWorld. If you are a big roller coaster person,
Go there.
SeaWorld is the place for you to go in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Universal
Well, maybe Busch
has...
Gardens. I haven't been there since ever. This one?
Universal has a couple coasters, but they're long lines.
SeaWorld's lines are... The longest line today was 60 minutes.
Yeah, and these are big-time coasters.
To the point where, like, I'm like, ugh, I don't really want to get on that.
Yeah.
Like, Dad loves roller coasters, and then when he was looking at one of them, he was like, "Oh, that's actually really high." Like when we were driving, we could see Mako Is that what it's called?
Mako, Kraken.
And like he was like,
I mean, these are big, famous coasters. I
They're
mean, Kraken's
legit
been there for
coasters.
years, and it was head honcho around. And then Mako came out. I was like, whoa, the seats roll up, and
Yeah.
I can't
Part of me
wait to
wants
go back
to
in the
try
fall.
that,
me too.
but I'm
Like,
scared. But part of me wants to try that one.
Yeah, like it's tall because like we were still like 5 miles away, and like
Yeah.
there was big trees in front of us, and like you could see it.
Oh, yeah.
Clear.
Yep.
But like behind the trees, like it's tall.
It stands tall.
Definitely a place to go if you're a coaster person.
Yeah.
Dude, don't go in the summertime.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
highly disappointed in the line. The line's everywhere.
And you have to see the shows.
Hands down.
Make time for the water shows
Yeah.
because they're awesome. And we'll have to go back and make sure we watch the dolphin one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. Is there another one? Is it just...
Remember the dolphin one that the handlers swim with them? Like they hold on to
yeah.
their fins and...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the penguins.
Oh, we didn't go look at the penguins. It's freezing in there. We should have went.
We should
It
have.
probably would have been packed. Probably wouldn't have been able to get in.
Yeah, everybody's probably hanging out in there.
Yeah.
There was even a line outside when we went with Nana.
Yes.
Well,
It was fun. The getting into the park was terrible, but it was fun.
Mhm.
I had fun.
Yeah.
I loved watching you two get off that roller coaster, and you guys were like, I was like, oh, good thing I didn't ride it.
Yeah, it would have been screaming / crying.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god!
Not to change the subject, but when we got off of Hagrid's, the very first time we rode it, I was doing this.
And me and Dad were
like, oh man, that was so scary. And the guy goes, are you okay? I was like, yes, it just scared me.
me and Dad were like, that was awesome. We were like the only ones with our hands up. I had my hands up, and that was my first time ever riding it.
Yeah.
Hagrid's is a whole nother level, too. Remember riding it with the Plastinos? And
Mr. Mike, Maddie talks
thought he
about
was
it all
gonna
the
have a
time.
stroke.
She's like, Mr. Mike cried.
Like, and he's a huge, like, he would ride all the roller coasters in
Yeah.
SeaWorld and not have a problem. He got off of Hagrid's. I looked behind me, and he's like,
it was neat because you can't see Hagrid's from where you're at in Hogsmeade.
No,
You can't see it at all. So
you don't know what to
Plastino's
expect.
walking in blind like we did. We'll get into that when we do some SeaWorld or some
Universals,
we have
Universals, but
to. We have
that's a wild ride.
Very.
I think that about wraps it up, guys. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. If you'd like to support the channel, PayPal and Patreon.
Remember, memories are out there.